good evening, good evening. This is your host, Sister Nayyirah Muhammad, transformational life coach, speaker, retreat leader, host of the Heal on Purpose podcast, also international best-selling author. I am super excited tonight because we are here bringing forth more content that is going to help you to eradicate generational traumas, dramas, limiting beliefs, and self-sabotaging behavior patterns. That's right. That's right, family. That's right. You have tuned into the Heal on Purpose podcast hosted by the Repair of the Black Family. Now, you already know, how to rock with me. Make sure you have you a cup of tea, have you some coffee. Make sure you have you some pen, a notepad, because we want you to take notes, okay? And if you don't have that, it's okay. Go ahead and use that official paper. Take some mental notes. Now, tonight, I do have a wonderful guest, a most powerful guest. But I just want to say this. He's not anybody. He is definitely my son. Tonight, I'm going to introduce to you my son, Brad Muhammad, aka known as Brother Rahiem. One of his favorite quotes is, "One of the most powerful tools a man can have is the willpower to meet and overcome all obstacles in his path." Brad Muhammad was raised in St. Petersburg, Florida. He is married and a father of three. From his commitment to community service, playing professional football in the Canadian League, he has flourished into a leader. He is also a member of the Nation of Islam. Brad is quite an inspiration and has lit a trail for youth behind him. He is a trendsetter. Come on now, he like his mama. He's a trendsetter and determined to succeed in life. So tonight, I'm bringing forth my son, Brother Rahiem Muhammad. How are you, son?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on your show tonight.
Yes, I feel so blessed and highly favored. Not only do I have you as your own individual man, a powerful leader, a husband and a father, but I get to introduce to the world one of my sons. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule for just to spend time with your mother as we are striving to help repair the Black family to heal on purpose. So I read your bio. And of course, I talked about you as my son, which you can see I can't stop smiling, y'all. Y'all see I can't stop smiling. But Brad Rahiem, I keep saying Brad Rahiem because he is born as Brad, but I gave him a name Rahiem. So if you hear me go in and out, it's not two different people. It's the same person, okay? Because Rahiem means the most merciful. So Rahiem, tell us who you are and how you show up in the world.
Well, my name is Brad Muhammad, like you said. Most of my family called me Rahiem. And, I'm just a leader among my peers. I send this like I said in my bio, set trends, and I'm learning life as just as much as my friends next to me, and I'm just everything that I'm learning, I'm able to give my fans my. I'm sorry, Mom.
No, go ahead, continue on. This is organic, family, so y'all getting it real and raw, okay? So continue on, son.
But yeah, like I was saying, I'm able to give my experiences and things that I've learned along the way, give those things to the younger youth behind me, so they can be able to make better decisions or learn from whatever they can take from my story as they continue on in their journey of life.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And that's very powerful. I mean, even tonight, we make mistakes in life, right? We fall down and we get up. And it's not always easy to get up. It's not always easy to show up, right? But when we do, we show up and we show out. And so with you being a trendsetter, that's definitely what I'm taking from just your introduction. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't learn from some mistakes, but I'm showing up, and I'm not just showing up for myself. I'm showing up for those who can benefit from my story.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. So thank you so very much. Now, of course, you are a husband and you have three beautiful children. So tell us about your wife and children.
Oh, well, I have a beautiful wife, Daisha. She's amazing. She's there for me. She's she's my strength. She hold it down for me when I'm going through the things that I go through, and she's there for me to be the first to congratulate me when I have met my goals. So, uh, big shout outs to my wife, my oldest daughter, Zyla Nayyirah Muhammad. She's a star. She's outgoing. She's ready to learn everything. A open notebook, ready to, write whatever story she's ready to write. I'm excited to watch her grow. And then I have two young boys, Messiah Muhammad and Rahiem Muhammad. Just young warriors, man. I'm ready to mold. I can't wait to mold them into young man. But it's a great experience having a family as a young age because uh, I'm able to mature a lot faster than probably the natural course that I probably would have. Not only having to tell them or guide them in during this time from right and wrong, but also being an example because everything I'm saying, they're looking at me trying to see, does my actions match my words? So it's a great experience.
Beautiful. Thank you. And that's very powerful, son. Now, it takes a lot of courage to step into the role of husband, and step up in the role of father, or daddy, father, however we want to say it. And I want to just ask you the question, like, what gives you the courage to just step up, just in not just in those roles, but step up in life? Like, what got you to that point where you can truly say, you know what, regardless of what I got to go through as a husband, as a father, I can do this? Like, tell me about your path and your journey to just step up into those two powerful roles, especially being a young man in this world today where it's full of distractions, right? It's full of distractions. So what gives you that type of courage and tenacity?
Well, first I have to say it's Allah that giving me the strength to stay steadfast during these times and full of distractions. But also, I'll say is knowing that everything we're it's a learning experience and we're learning life together. So uh, everything's not going to always be smooth or the picture perfect, stereotypical way of those roles of being husband and father. But the moments that you create, it builds character within the relationship and within you as a person. So I'm sorry, I said it's all a process that I'm happy to be a part of. So, I'm taking it a day at a time and getting stronger as time goes on. So I can't complain.
Absolutely. And I can fully agree with you. It takes struggle. I'm sorry, struggle is struggle. However, desire feeds the will, right? And the struggle is the struggle for balance. So, balancing being husband, balancing being father, balancing being a young black man, balancing your career, just balance, balance, balance. So, I just want to commend you in doing that. And as I think over and listen to your story, I definitely see my story, being a young girl, getting married at 18, not having the guidance, that I needed to help my marriage sustain my first marriage. But through it all, that marriage was also a beautiful marriage because it prepared me for the second marriage, but I also learned all about myself. So in marriage, you do get the opportunity to learn what makes you, what breaks you. And so to see you step into that role and to be as courageous as you are, it shows that not only are you faithful to your marriage, but you're faithful to Allah. Marriage is half the faith. So congratulations on that. And so as we roll into now, we done talked about it, y'all. I hope y'all getting this. We done talked about the marriage role. Let's talk about your love for life, right? When you came out, let me just say this, y'all. When he came out the womb, literally, I didn't see him the first day because I was still, under medication and stuff like that. But the next day that I seen my son and he looked me in my face and I got an opportunity to hold him in his hand, in my hand, a football was placed in his hand by my daddy. May God be pleased with him. And so it has just been it's his makeup. Is everything that I know about my son is he loves football. So let's talk about this journey. Coming up, little league football, then you went into high school football, and then you ultimately now you are in professional football. Like, tell me about that journey.
Well, yeah, I would think it stems from me being competitive. Like when I really think about it, I just always been competitive, always wanted to be the best, always just the inch for competition. I loved it because it always, pushed me to be better than I was, or it was a new obstacle that I had to attack to overcome and win.
Mhm.
So I think that's what is the core of it all. But then football is just a sport that I love. Just the game, I'm able to do certain things that shows my talent, and then it was just like uh, a matchmaking, love at first sight kind of thing with my competitive nature. So that's just how those two things ran off with each other, and it's been a journey. It's been a journey. This football experience, because it's as I've grown and as I've gotten to different levels, I've seen that it's a lot more than football.
Mhm.
It's like, you as a person, it's football, and it's also the business side of it. So it's a great journey. It's a journey that can teach you a lot about life, and it has its ups and downs. It has its ups and it has its downs, but I love it. So
Yes. So let's talk about this competitive, and let's talk about the challenges. How has your journey in football been challenging, and how do you see that as a part, not just the game itself, but the challenges of life? What strategies have you taken from football to apply in your life to overcome challenges or and face and go through challenges?
right, that's a good question. I would have to say, well, the number one thing that I can take that translate to both life and football, I would have to say, is accountability.
Mm,
Being accountable to people that's relying on you to achieve a certain goal, or to stay on schedule with a certain habit or a certain task that you have to complete. And that's one thing that, I was accountable, but I was accountable to the things that I wanted to be accountable to, and not everything that come along with it. So that was something I learned in football. They say you have to be accountable on and off the field. You have to your teammates have to be able to trust that you're going to be in the places that you have to be, and that's the same thing with marriage, fatherhood, and being a regular pedestrian. You have to be accountable.
mm,
That you are gonna be a role model to your children. You have to be accountable that you can build a relationship with your spouse. You have to be accountable that you can build different networking opportunity, or business relationship, and being accountable with growing those things to help you become a successful business person. So uh, that's something I really can say that translate to both football and life.
which is very powerful, Raheem, because as a transformational life coach, that is one of the biggest buttons or biggest things that I have to work with my clients is accountability. And accountability translate into responsibility, meaning being able to respond with ability. And so what I have found is that most people are conditioned, they're spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically conditioned not to not to be as accountable to their own personal vision, their own personal goals, their own personal things that they desire to have out of life because of limiting beliefs, right? They are conditioned, or we have been conditioned with self-sabotaging behavior patterns. So to be able to confront and face and really hold yourself accountable, is one of the biggest accomplishments that one can achieve when we come to reaching that next level, right? There's always new levels of accountability. Like you said, accountability in
Right.
relationship. We see most marriages in this day and time break up because we forget to hold one another accountable in the marriage, but also responsible. We as and I'm talking about a conditioning, right? We forget to be responsible for the mate or responsible for our children. So as we are striving to heal on purpose and We're looking at different areas from different viewpoints. You're bringing a viewpoint as a young athlete, as a young Black man, as one that has gone through struggles. But here it is. I'm still holding it down. I'm still being accountable to all of these different areas in my life. So again, kudos to you. And so as I look at what you said, okay, I've taken the strategies from football, I've taken the strategies, of accountability. What can you say that you have had to most overcome at this age to show up as who you are today with this level of tenacity? What is it in your life? What areas of life that that you had to really stand toe to toe and didn't know if you was gonna make it through?
Exactly what you said. I think it's consistency. Being able to remain steadfast through a large number of time, a large amount of time, because you may encounter situations that's not going to solve itself in a week or a month or 5 months or 6 months. But can you stay consistent with the habits that you have to create to keep yourself going, to keep inching towards that goal? Or can you stay consistent to just doing the little things that you have to do to make sure that you can stay on track? So I think through it all, that's the main thing is consistency.
Consistency. Wow. Again, as a coach, we are very inconsistent and we don't want to see things through, right? One of my 3 principles, as y'all listening to this, I want you to write this down. Faith, focus, and follow through has helped me with consistency. Faith, having faith that no matter what's rocking my boat, it's going to come through, right? Focus, which means I have to be laser focused on the end goal of what I know that the outcome is going to be. It might rain, it might snow, but on the other side of all of that, on the other side of these storms, the sun shall shine. And then that follow through. And that's where I see that consistency is. You got to follow through on you. You got to follow through on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And one of the key factors, Rahiem, that I have found that helps me with consistency is patience. Woo, what you talking about? We live in a microwave society, y'all. We live in a microwave society. Rahiem, what would you say as it relates to patience and in being able to endure?
All right. I think those two things correlate with each other hand in hand. Like you said, having patience to endure, and that levels up equally. That levels up perfectly with consistent, because you're gonna need both of those things in order to be consistent. And especially in my journey of not knowing if I ever play again, and having that faith to sacrifice some things so I can make sure my body can stay intact, so I can still operate at a high level, although I'm going through these uncertain times. It's faith and consistency. Those are 2 perfect things.
Yes, all praises due to Allah. So you said another word. And as you talk about your story and what you had to give up to get to where you are, sacrifice. I believe that every level, on every journey, we have to make sacrifices. Some people have to sacrifice money. Some people, there's always a level of sacrifice, right? Me, raising y'all up in the Nation of Islam and being in leadership, you all took a lot of bumps and bruises. That was my levels of sacrifice to get to where I am now. Let's talk about that sacrifice. What does that look like? What does it feel like? Is it an easy journey? What does sacrifice mean to you? And what would you say to somebody that may find themselves right in the middle of, dang, I got to make a sacrifice?
That's a deep question. I'll give you an authentic answer.
Yes.
I would say sacrifice it's faith. Sacrifice is faith. Not knowing, not knowing, is this what I'm doing going to pan out?
Come on now.
Not knowing if sacrificing is worth it. You know, because
Yes.
those are decisions that come through your mind when you actually have to give up something that you want to do. Those the big decisions that those the big thoughts that come up in your mind to could that gives you the driving force to stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to say sacrifice. That's something huge that you want to accomplish, and I think if you're going through, if it's something that you have to sacrifice, if you're going through something that requires you to sacrifice, I will say keep your mind on that end goal. Keep your mind on seeing yourself as you cross through that barrier, and you know when you wake up in the morning, try to grab that feeling of what it feel like when you succeed. So
Yeah.
when you're going through those sacrifices, you know, it's that extra motivating factor. Because like I said, sometimes sacrifice may take a lengthy amount of time. So you're gonna have to keep yourself motivated. You're gonna have to stay consistent. You're gonna have to keep up the faith. Those things all correlate with each other. So yes, man.
Yes, absolutely. And sacrifice is giving up that which you don't have. A lot of people don't have time. A lot of people don't have the energy, right? You may have to give up the money. You may have to, like you had to do, you had to sacrifice your family. You had to go and leave for 6 months, right? That's not an easy journey. It's not easy on your wife. It's not easy on your children. But what is the end goal? And how is this gonna at the end of it all, is it worth it? The levels of sacrifices that I'm going to make, and is it a selfish act, or is it good for the good for the whole? The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said we have to think for the whole. And so in that as I talk and I'm thinking about my listening audience, there may be something that you're going through right now in your life that requires self-improvement is sacrifice, personal development is sacrifice, right? For me to become Sister Nayyirah and not be that girl that just want to hold on to her comfortable ways. Guess what? I had to make a lot of sacrifice every morning when I get up and got to read 10 pages a day to keep my mind elevated. When I got to do my prayers, whatever it is, there's always, or when I have to go and study and do the things that I do so that I can sit before this camera and know that I'm adding value to somebody's life. That's a level of sacrifice. So you got to be willing to give up something in your life to get something. And that's healing on purpose, So Rahiem, as we talk about this journey with you sacrificing, you had to sacrifice your family. You had to do a lot of things. You had to overcome a lot of things. On my recent shows, I talked to brothers about healing, men, self-care, self-love. Where do you fit that in, or do you fit that in for yourself as far as self-care, self-love? And is that important for the man to do, in particular the Black man?
Yes, ma'am. I think you have to heal. That's a part of the process of being able to keep going further. If you're not healing and you taking everything across the chin, and you keep going, and you don't have time to reflect and see what's really causing you to move in a certain way, or how come you can't get past this threshold, or why can't you go further. Sometimes you have to reevaluate yourself, and you have to you know say that it's okay that to make mistakes. It's okay that you may fall short sometimes, but you have the opportunity to keep moving forward. So
Mm-hmm.
that healing process is very vital, and it's pivotal. It's pivotal to success. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Thank you. That's it's like we're taking the vital signs of life, right? And so your chapter in the book, yay, y'all got to get the book. Okay, you got to get the book. Repair of the Black Family Anthology. This is going to be great holiday gifts for you, for your family. Buy a couple of books and drop them in the gift bags. You are chapter 11, which is a very powerful number. Okay, especially when you're talking about manifestations. And your chapter is ambition over adversity. Tell us about that. First of all, why ambition over adversity? And then let's go into the chapter.
I think you set this question up. Okay, I got a funny story about ambition over adversity. My mom, she didn't want me to get tattoos, but I had friends that was getting it, so I was influenced a little bit. And this ambition over adversity was my first tattoo that I got. uh, along with my grandfather's name. But ever since I marked my body, I promise you, this has been a key point in my lifeline. Just every time I'm having some type of adversity, it's having that ambition to keep going, is going through it. And it seems like God has a way of keep throwing these different adversities at me. So, but it's been a great journey, and uh, a lot of people have been through the road that I've taken, and it's not a tough road. And a lot of mentors that I've talked to, or people that just have, talked to me about the things that I've done, and letting me know how inspirational has been, is that, some people, they decide to give up right when they're at the door, or some people, they don't have the ambition to keep going. And I just think a lot of, he filled me with ambition that, to keep driving through those tough times that may have you thinking that you can't get through it. And sometimes that you need that's that driving force to stay consistent, is that ambition. So yes, man, it's
Yes,
crazy how all that's come full circle, but it's true.
absolutely. So in your chapter in the book, what would you say that a reader would get from your chapter in the book?
Kind of like everything we've been talking about on this interview,
Mhm.
just that's sometimes, in life, things happen, and it's all about how you're gonna respond. you
Mhm.
know uh I'm trying not to sound cliche-ish, but
No, you're not. You're being very real. And that's one of the things that I love. See, repetitiveness. To be able to be repetitive, to be able to say and experience things over and over until we get it 100% correct.
right,
So, yeah, it's not cliche, it's real, right? It's real.
right.
And so as we look at this ambition over adversity, you've also experienced a lot of diversity. I mean, just think about it. How old are you, son? I got five
Right.
children. I got to kind of remember.
27.
You're
Oh,
27,
right,
27. And now you've gone and you've lived in another country, right?
right.
I mean, it's been very different from you growing up in the south side of St. Petersburg, and throughout your journey, you've experienced a lot of culture and a lot of diversity. Tell us about that and how
uh
important
it's,
it is to even be diverse.
it's a beautiful experience. It's like reading a book and learning something for the first time. It's like, oh, I never knew this existed. Seeing different people from across the world, and different communities, different cultures, different ways of life, and how they come together amongst each other, and the music they listen to, and the different foods that they eat. uh I think a lot that I've been blessed to experience those different things. I think we should all get out and see that is more to life than just what we see in our neighborhoods, and it's different ways to make impacts, based
Mm,
off differently than what we're being fed through our everyday timeline. So
mhm,
it's great, especially music. Different vibrational music. Different cultures have different vibrational music that make them feel, you know, uplifting in different ways. It's an amazing experience. So I'm glad I was able to experience those things.
awesome. Now, when we talk about diversity, I know that you don't just play football. For those who may be listening, you've had the opportunity to play an instrument. What instrument? Instruments.
I've played the trumpet, and I've played the drums. I've played the drums.
Okay, let's talk about that. We're talking about being cultured, okay?
Mhm.
How is that, and why do you think that, the youth should play instruments?
Uh, it's just to me, it's one of those competitive things, just mastering something different. Not staying. We're so capable of so much, and being able to, study something, and train yourself and get better at something. It's almost like training. It's almost like training for life.
Mm,
Going through adversity of learning how to put your lips on the trumpet, and withstanding the vibration, and having your lips numb after that, or playing paradiddles, and keeping cadence, or not getting tired with your forearms. It helps you overcome adversity or overcome different things, and just fine tuning those different attributes. So
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
actually loved it, and it helps you express different ways. So
beautiful. And you've also been able to speak Mandarin Chinese.
I studied a little bit. Certain
four
things stuck
years.
with me. Yeah, I've studied through high school, but yes, I like the language.
Okay, good. All right, so and so as we are looking to elevate this and go uh to the closing. Now, of course, you wasn't born into the Nation of Islam, but you was raised into the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
Accepting the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad at a very young age, and of course, as a mom, I'm very proud of that. Tell us about your experience, and how essential is that a part as it relates to your life and being a young man, young black man in this society today.
Uh, well, first I'd like to thank Allah for having me under this, having me or guiding me to this way of life. I would say it helped me so much. Even in a way that I being able to see certain things or being able to you know uh uh have these disciplines that we're taught, or you know being able to know who I am, know who God is, and just those different things to help me be able to stand up stronger as a man, especially in America, and all the things that we're seeing today, and to know that having the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, may peace be upon him, it's just it's wonderful, having that guidance, because I'm not afraid, or I'm not in disarray, or I'm not. It's not like it's all a shock to me, because I had certain guidances, and I'm instructed on how to move in certain ways. So I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful for that.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you. And that's a key word, guidance. What would you say to a young black man today that needs that guidance, or they may feel like the only way out is to be famous, athlete, what is it, a rapper, or whatever. What would you say to a young black man today that may be listening to this, or a mother that may be raising, or a father that's raising a young black man in society today, and just need that extra to ensure that they can get through the tumultuous times that we're in?
Yeah, you led me right into it. I'll just say, man, look at the times we're in. Look at how much death is around us, and everything that's being promoted through the food, through the music, through movies, uh through what you're looking at 24/7, through Instagram, through these different platforms. So I'll say just seek guidance, seek advice. Your cup can never be full. You always want to, you know an elder, or even if it's not an elder, try to have an ear for wisdom that you can take to make proper decisions in today, because there's so much negative influences that you've been given that you don't even know. So it's a spiritual warfare going on right now, and you want to make sure you're getting tools to help you get through these times.
Very, very powerful. I love the fact that you said have an ear for wisdom. That's not something that we commonly hear in today's time. So, family, as you are listening to this, you know scriptures say, in all thine getting, get understanding, and that is wisdom. So we should seek out wisdom. And so, Rahiem, what are some of your favorite motivational, of course you have the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, but what are some of the motivational people that you like to listen to, or books that you can recommend that people should read outside of the Repair of the Black Family?
Well, I would say, I'm more of a YouTube guy. I like to, watch things, or listen to things. But I love Ray Lewis.
Hmm.
He's very passionate. Uh, Inky Johnson, I believe is his name.
Mm-hmm.
A great guy. Oh no, I forgot the brother name. Oh no,
I
it's
know
a
you
lot.
always send me stuff on 19 Keys too. So
Right. Oh yeah, 19 Keys, brother Ben X, all those brothers. It's so much. It's so much. It's so many different people I listen to. It's so many different influences or motivational speakers that's out there that I listen to. But yeah, I just try to keep my ear in all of it.
yes, sir. All right, family. So you have heard from Rahiem Muhammad tonight, Brad Muhammad, aka Rahiem. And as we close this down, I'm gonna ask you, what is it that you would like the listening audience to know as it relates to ambition over adversity? And just any closing remarks that you have.
Um, I believe that experience is the best teacher,
Mm,
but but sometimes, taking heed to warnings from people that's giving you advice ahead of time can sometimes be better than actually experiencing those things. Um, I would say if you are in the middle of an adversity that's you feel like you can't get through, or it's a major, it's one of the biggest adversities that you're going through in life. You know, seek refuge in God. Uh,
mhm,
pray. Is you know Now that I've gotten through the things that I've written about in my chapter, and I'm playing football. I'm realizing how much I put a cap on life.
mm,
By being stuck in my mind,
mhm,
when I should have, I could have had different perspectives, or I could have moved more efficiently, more earlier than I started to. Uh, I don't know. It's just life is great. Just keep going, because it gets greater later. So
mm. All right, y'all heard it from Brother Rahiem. It gets greater later, and so hold on, Rahiem, as I go ahead and put you in the holding room. Family, you have listened to Rahiem Muhammad, ambition over adversity. And we're going to close out our 2022 with that theme. You have literally 30 days to close out your 2022 with ambition over adversity. How are you going to transition into the 2023? It's not too late. Start to write down the things that no longer serve you, and put forth the things that's in your now that you are grateful for, and create what your future self is going to look like. Remember, it is your responsibility to place you before anything and everything that is not going to get you to where you desire to be in the 2023. You have been listening to Heal on Purpose podcast with Sister Nayyirah. Our goal, our focus is to help bring forth tools that's going to help not just change you and elevate you to the next level, but your family, your community, and ultimately the world. How do you fit in this kingdom? Are you a kingdom builder? What levels of responsibility that you are really willing and ready to be accountable for to help bring in the kingdom of God? It is our responsibility to heal on purpose. And with that being said, y'all get ready for 2023, because Sister Nayyirah has some awesome coaching programs that's going to be released. I have the new retreats that's coming out. We're going to Belize, we're going to Egypt. And don't forget to get your book, The Repair of the Black Family Anthology. I want you to pick up the phone tonight Call somebody and let them know that everything's going to be all right and it gets greater later. Thank you for listening. You have tuned into, oh, by the way, Repair the Black Family is a nonprofit organization. So if you want to make your donations, go ahead and make a donation. You can go to my website at www.repairoftheblackfamily.com. You also can go to you can cash app us at $ Repair Black Family. Help us keep this mission going stronger. If you are watching live on Facebook, remember we are content creators, so you can go ahead and shoot us some stars and let us continue to serve you. Thank you for listening. This is your host, Sister Nayyirah. Peace.